Hello YouTube, it's PokeWrench back with another video, and today we're doing something completely different to any video I've done so far. Today we're talking about a number of topics. No pack openings today. I do get people asking me for my opinions on certain topics, and I've said I'm going to do a video like this for a while now, and I've never got round to it. There'll be no fancy graphics or anything like that because I don't even know how to do most of it. I'm very I've got basic technology type skills, editing skills. It's something I need to keep working on. So we're talking about a few topics. So I've got a bottle of water with me because this will be the most talking I've done in any video. And I've got 4 areas I want to talk about. Not necessarily in any particular order, but I'm going to be talking about investing in Pokemon. I'm going to be talking about scalping, which, if you don't know what that word means, that's people who flip product. They buy product when it first comes out with the intention of selling it as soon as they can for a quick profit. I'm going to be mentioning Logan Paul and his recent jump into the Pokemon community and what I think about that. And then there's going to be some tips and advice at the end of the video as well. So, let's start by talking about investing in Pokemon. Is it a good idea? Honestly, yes it is. My actual job outside of YouTube, because this is far from a job for me. It's a hobby. It's a bit of fun. My actual job is I work in finance. So I work with investments and pensions, and that kind of stuff's right up my street. So I know that in any given year, earning 5 to 10% on your investments would be classed as a good return. So can that be beaten in Pokemon? Easily. Yes, absolutely, of course it can. In an entire year, getting 10% out of Pokemon is a breeze. You just need to buy the right product at the right time. So any product, any set, any pack, any box that contains a Charizard is likely going to be a good investment. Now, buying and holding sealed product isn't easy for everybody because it means setting an amount of money to one side that you can't then do anything with. I personally buy and sell quite regularly because I don't have crazy amounts of money sat to one side where I can afford to buy £1,000 item and just hold it forever, and unfortunately that's the case for me. So if I buy a collection, it means I get to hold a card and possess that card for a period of time, and it almost scratches an itch for me to be able to hold that card. And I might not be able to keep it forever, I might sell it to be able to buy the next thing that I've really wanted, but people putting money to one side and buying something expensive and holding it for a long time isn't necessarily that easy for people. So if you can only afford £50 per month as an example, you need to look at buying something that has potential to grow. So maybe looking at a newer set. Darkness Ablaze has a Charizard, so is there a good chance that those boxes are going to go up in value over the next year? Well, yeah, they were selling on Facebook not so long back for £95. Now people list them for £110. There's over 10% growth already in just a few weeks. See, the problem for a lot of people is when they invest in Pokemon, they want to put in £50 and turn it into £5,000 in a month. That's not going to happen. That can't happen. Even with the crazy spike in values that we've seen over recent months, and not been seeing growth like that. We've been seeing maybe prices treble, quadruple. The Charizard base set first edition Charizards have been going mental, but across the board, typically things have tripled in value. But that doesn't happen with every item all the time. You need to set yourself realistic goals when it comes to investing in Pokemon. You can't get rich overnight. A lot of the people within the community that have the crazy collections that are worth 100, 200, 300, 500,000 pounds or dollars, or whatever currency you use, those people have been in the game for such a long time and they've been able to buy stuff early and hold it. Now, if you look to buy Sun and Moon products now that are becoming harder to get and hold on to them, you're going to see those values go up as well. If you get yourself, we're in October now, and I remember Burning Shadows boxes you could pick up quite easily for not much more than £100 at the beginning of the year. Now, for you to get your 10% growth in a year, if you bought a Burning Shadows box at £100 in January, that means to get your 10% growth, to make it a relatively good investment, by January in a few months' time, you'd need it to be £110. And it's worth way more than that now, they're closer to 200. So it's about putting your money into the right things at the right time. Looking for product where the stock levels are dropping or they're out of print, and maybe picking up a box at that point. There are so many opportunities to invest in Pokemon, and the people that seem to think that the opportunities only go to the people with crazy amounts of money, they're so wrong. There needs to be, I think, the key word when it comes to investing, especially investing in a collectible like Pokemon, and this is something that a lot of people are missing, is patience. You need to be patient. You can't buy something on the 1st of January for £50 or £100 and expect to have doubled it by the end of the month. You need to be patient. It's a long-term game. Those Wizards of the Coast boxes that are worth crazy money now, they're 20 years old, 22 years old. And they've taken that long to get to that value. 10 years ago, people have been holding those boxes for 10 years and they'd only gone up. You could still pick up boxes for a few £100. So they'd barely even moved in value, and that took 10 years. The reality is, holding a base set booster box from 2000 until 2010 was not a good investment decision, because you could easily have made more money doing other things, because they were still achievable for a few hundred pound. I think I remember about 5 years ago there being certain boxes that you could still pick up for £300 or £400, and that were 5 years ago. So people who've held that stuff for all those years, they've got patience. It's going to take patience. What are the next sets that's going to kick off? Look at the order and how everything seems to follow on. So, look at black and white boxes as an investment option. Look at XY boxes as an investment option. Look at Sun and Moon now as an investment option. And black and white will be more expensive than XY. XY will be more expensive than Sun and Moon because of the older sets that are taking over. So look at the older sets, invest in stuff that's as old as possible, but also has a desirability factor to it. It's got a Charizard in it, or it's got an expensive chase card in it. Look at Unbroken Bonds, another one that's gone crazy in value over the past year. You'd have absolutely killed your 10% target. You need to set low targets, achievable targets. You are not going to get rich overnight from this. Absolutely not. Now that's talking about investing. If you're a collector, then it's obviously completely different. I am a bit of both. I do collect and I invest. I've got this YouTube channel that costs me money to run. If you go back through all of my videos and look at how much money I've spent creating the content versus what I've got back out of it, I'm way down, But I do this for a little bit of fun. But if that means on the side I can buy and sell things that can give me money to be able to create this content, then that's absolutely what I'm going to do. I don't have an endless kind of vat of cash that I can use to fund these videos. That's not how it works. So that's a very, very, very brief opinion on investing from me. The truth is, for something that's so big, something that takes thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds of people's money on a daily basis, I could talk about investing for hours and hours and hours, and because of the fact that I work in finance, I do talk about it for hours on a daily basis. Maybe not specifically to Pokemon, but it's a topic that I find interesting and I could talk about. I suppose what would be a good idea is, after this video, for you to drop comments on what I've said and maybe areas you'd like me to elaborate on. And I could maybe do this every couple of weeks or even every week, a video of just talking. It's almost podcast like, you can listen to this while you're on the move rather than having to look at the screen because nothing's been opened. So that's investing. Now let's talk about scalping, because scalping and investing go hand in hand, because the people that are scalping, that is their investment. They're making money from it. So again, just to reaffirm the point at the beginning, if you don't know what scalping is, or flipping, it's people who buy product with the aim of selling it relatively soon or quickly and making a profit. What's my opinion on scalpers? I don't mind them. Controversial point alert, I don't Now here's a really controversial point, so let's bring on the dislikes on the video. My videos don't tend to get many dislikes, so this is probably going to cause that. I don't think the sellers are the problem. I think the buyers are the problem. There we go. Controversial point. Please don't unsubscribe. Let me at least explain why I think that's the case. So let's use Champions Path as an example, because this is the one that's been causing uproar in the Facebook community and people going mental because people are selling their Champions Path boxes for more than retail. So let me put a scenario to you. So you buy 10 boxes, 10 Elite Trainer boxes of Champions Path. Is that greedy? Absolutely not. It's far from it. Anybody who thinks buying 2 Elite Trainer boxes is sufficient, jog on, find another hobby. Yeah, because that is not. 2 boxes is 20 packs. Tell me who's finishing a set with 20 packs. I'll wait. It's not happening. Don't be silly. If you think that 10 boxes, 10 Elite Trainer boxes is excessive, then you're just bitter. You're being salty, right? 10 boxes is 100 packs. 3 booster boxes is 108 packs. Would you class 3 booster boxes as excessive for someone trying to complete a set? I wouldn't. When new sets come out and booster boxes are available, people buy them by the case. So buying them by the case would be 216 packs, which would be 21.6 Elite Trainer boxes. Would that be excessive? No, it really wouldn't. You know, I don't have an issue with that. If you can't afford to buy the 20 Elite Trainer boxes, then you know that's fine. But you can't hate on people that can afford to do that and are trying to complete the set. So let's have someone who buys 10 Elite Trainer boxes. They are sensible and they get them on pre-order, which will be another point I'm coming to in a moment. And they pay, as I saw and as I got back in July, they buy them from Chaos Cards. In July, Chaos Cards had pre-order for Elite Trainer boxes of Champions Path. They were £42 or $42.95, but if you ordered in July, they had a 5% discount code to get them down to, call it 40 quid. £40 for an Elite Trainer box, and people buy 10 of them, yeah? So they get 10, cost them £400, release day comes, they come in the post, they've got the 10 boxes, they open 2 or 3 of them, and guess what? As I've seen, whilst I wasn't one of these people, which is always the case, they pull both of the big Charizards in those first 2 or 3 boxes. And they're sat there thinking, do I really want to open the rest of it? I've done the hard work, the rest of the cards are going to be relatively cheap to buy. It's probably better for me to sell the other 7 or 8 Elite Trainer boxes, use the money from those Elite Trainer boxes to fund buying the rest of the set, because I've got the 2 big chase cards already. Now, when they come to sell them, what are they going to sell them for? Now, this is where we have the big issue. This is all of the first bit that I've just described is normal, but then we get to this point, and this is where people have the issue. So they bought them at 40. Technically, they could sell them at 40 because they've not lost any money. But if they look on eBay and see that people are in bidding wars and they're going for 70, 75, 80 pounds, 85 pounds, 90 pounds, and they're on Facebook and people are listing them for 75, and within minutes of them being listed, they're sold. I'll have it, I'll take it, I'll PM you, I'll drop you a message, I'll have it, I'll have it, I'll have it. And people are like vultures jumping on it. Why would you sell it for 40 quid? Why? Tell me why. Unless you're absolutely loaded and you like giving money away, tell me why anybody in their right mind as a seller would take £40 for a product when they can get 75 and not even have to struggle to get 75. When you're selling 10 of them because they're excess, you ordered too many and you didn't need them after you've opened them and got the Charizards, you know, why would you throw away £350, £400? The community feel means nothing. You know, you can't pay bills, you can't buy products, you can't complete sets with community spirit. Yeah? If that person sells 10 boxes for 40 quid a box and gets £400 and they intend to use that £400 to complete their collection or their set or buy other things for their collection, yeah, that £400 will only go that far versus having £750 or £800. They can't go and buy something that's worth £600 and say, well, I've got £400 here, but I generated this £400 by being really nice to people in the community, so can I make up the difference with a little bit of community spirit? That doesn't happen. You know, money is what makes this go round. If the buyers aren't paying that premium, then they're not going to go for that premium. It is simple. It is so basic, yeah? And I know that's controversial and people are going to think it's harsh, but guess what? You had so much time to buy Champion's Path. You had so much time to buy it. It's not like the set arrived overnight without warning and everybody went crazy. I pre-ordered in July. A lot of people I know pre-ordered in July. I know people who watch my channel that pre-ordered in July. One particular person who watches my channel, who will probably know who he is without me saying his name, who told me about the pre-order in July and told me about the discount codes. And to be fair, often messages me with websites that have got things cheap or on offer or discounts or pre-orders. I'm not going to shout him out because he might not want his name messaging, but if you know who you are, I massively appreciate it. I'll have probably messaged you at some point between now and this video going live anyway. So yeah, the pre-orders are there. Get on it early. The problem people have is no one wants to wait, and guess what? That brings us back to my previous word, patience. Nobody's got patience. People want to buy in January and receive in January. They want to buy in April and receive in April. They want to buy in July and receive in July. They're not happy to put the money in January to receive it in April and put it in April to receive it in July. You need to just move your timeline. You just need to move it, and rather than putting all of the money in on the day you receive the product, put the money in for the pre-order and get the product a few months later when it's released, because then guess what? Scalpers and flippers and people who don't care about the hobby, as people describe them as, they don't affect you because you've sorted yourself out. Take yourself out of the game. Take yourself away from the issue of scalping, so that when you're watching other people struggle for product, you can sit back, fold your arms and get comfortable knowing that you're sorted. Yeah? Don't worry about other people, because worrying about other people isn't going to fill your collection. It's not going to complete what you're looking to do. Now, that's another thing that it brings me on to. People that the scalpers, they could be doing what they're doing for a number of reasons. They could be doing it because they just want to make some money, and why not? If the opportunity is there, the buyers are making that opportunity for the scalpers. So if they're going to jump on that and make some money doing it, then that's their call. Like I've said already, if the buyers don't pay the premiums, then the scalpers can't sell it for that premium. So the only way that this changes is by people changing their attitude towards it, getting in there early, getting on the pre-order early, buying from people build connections. Yeah, this hobby is so much about building connections. Now, I'm just going to put in a bit of not a disclaimer here, but I'm going to make a key point, because I don't want people to think that I'm a flipper or a scalper. I sold Champion's Path boxes at 50 quid. Right? I actually sold them below retail. So, I'm not really a scalper. So please don't be commenting on my video saying, oh, you're just as bad as the rest of them, you're terrible for the community, blah, 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 because that couldn't be further from the truth. There's enough people that watch my videos that know I do so much good for people in the community. But if that means that every now and again I want to try and make a few quid to help me, then I will. And if I had Champion's Path boxes right now, and they're selling for £90 on eBay, I'm not selling them for 50. I'm just not. I do my fair bit by helping out a lot of people around me in the early stages, but then as things progress, why would I kick myself in the foot? Videos cost money to make. I've got projects in the background that I'm trying to fund as well. So, it's not like all of the money I make from Pokemon goes straight into my pocket and I live in a mansion as a result of it. Absolutely not. For me, what happens with Champion's Path is no different to what's happened with Wizards of the Coast. It's just a shorter timescale, and that's why people don't like it. But is it okay that people buy base set boxes for 100 quid when they were available, and now they're going for 20 grand? Is that okay? Is that not scalping and flipping, but just over a longer term? But people are all right with that. But it's a supply and demand issue, just like Champion's Path. Just because it's only come out, it doesn't mean there's a supply and demand issue. It's still the same. But the boxes are coming out again in December, so just sit and wait. Places are already doing pre-orders again. All of you people that were paying £90 a box and £100 a box, we told you to sit tight and wait, and there are pre-orders available right now. And guess what again? For the third time, patience. No one's got patience. You don't have a right to be mardy or, for any American viewers that don't understand that term, salty or angry or feel hate towards people when you're, as the buyer, the problem for having no patience. Just wait until the next wave of products. They're coming in December. More ETBs. Yeah? Get talking to people now. Build connections. Don't only speak to people when you want something from them. Build friendships. I speak to a lot of people on a regular basis due to Pokemon. And you know what, it's strange to say it because some of them I've never met, some of them I have met, but I'd class them more as friends than just people online, because you speak to them so often, you get to know them and their lives, and building those connections that's important to be able to get to where you want to be. So that's it on scalping. I've talked about scalping for a long time. I could talk about that for hours. So if you've got any comments, I'll wait for the dislikes to come through. I'm already prepared for it. So, feel free to disagree with me. But I'm just, I'm passionate about some of these points. Last two things to talk about. Logan Paul, because everybody's talking about him, and I want to put his name in my video title, and I want to get some views from it. There you go. Honesty. That's what you're going to get with me. What do I think about him getting into the hobby? Firstly, I don't think he really knows what he's doing. I saw his live stream opening the first edition base set booster box. He looked like he's never been shown how to handle a card properly, and I would have been pretty gutted if I'd paid $11,000 for a pack to be opened and manhandled in the way it was. The way he held the cards, the way he put his thumb over the holographic parts, the way he put them into the top loaders. The guy clearly doesn't really know what he's doing. Everything was a PSA 10, by the way, just in case you didn't know. He barely even looked at the card and was like, that's a PSA 10. Really? I don't think he knew exactly what he was doing. The guru that was with him, I don't think he knew what he was doing. The values he was spitting out were just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm pretty sure he wasn't even listening to the card in question. He was just spouting out a random number. Yo, what's this trainer card worth? Oh, in a PSA 10 it's probably 100 grand. It was such random numbers coming out of his mouth that made no sense. And I'm sure Charizard was growing in value just during that stream, which was just, I didn't enjoy that video at all. But people like Logan Paul getting into the hobby is a good thing for investors, because it's going to bring people in. But Logan specifically said himself that he got in because of Gary V, and Gary V is a big investor who posted on his Instagram to crazy amounts of people that he was buying Pokemon cards, and obviously Logan's seen that and he's got in. So you can kind of thank Gary for Logan getting in. A card recently sold on an auction, and I think it was a rapper that bought that, Logic. So more big names are going to get into the hobby, which for people wanting to buy the old stuff who've been saving up for it, you can kind of kiss that opportunity goodbye, because when you've got people who've got bottomless pockets getting involved in auctions, those numbers are going to get so stupid. When you've got people who've got millions of pounds or dollars in the bank, and an auction's reaching a 10 grand kind of cut off for most people, and they're like, I've got millions in the bank, I don't really need to stop, I'll go 11. Oh, someone wants to go 11 and a half, I'll go 12, I'll go 13, 14, 15. It doesn't matter how far I want to take this, because I've got the money to back it up. But then that becomes a new price, and I think from that point of view, it's a bit disheartening for me, because I've never really got to the point where I can build a Wizards of the Coast collection, and that's where my heart lies. I love the old stuff, but because I'm very particular with conditions, I've never really managed to get the collection I wanted, and I think it's at this point I'm realising that's never going to happen. So from a personal point of view, seeing these big names get into the hobby is a bit disheartening, but it's also good for the hobby. It's going to bring more people in, going to get more people involved, and hopefully that means that then there's more longevity in the hobby, and it'll keep going for even longer. So I suppose I'm on the fence. I think he should probably have spoken to more people before he decided to manhandle a first edition booster box. I don't know why he didn't get someone else involved on the stream who's a bit more known and respected within the Pokemon community specifically. Like, you know, as much as this guy also has a bit of some controversial opinions about him, but like Leon Hart, you know, why didn't he get him involved to help out with the stream? The guru who was with him, he's a crypto guy. Like, it's not like he's Pokemon through and through, like Leon Hart would be. So yeah, I don't really think he did the best job of that. I think he could have done it different and done a better. You know, he got the box and flipped it a week later and made 200 grand. You know, I can't get behind that. You know what I mean? He raised money for charity, and that's always a good thing. You know, I do things for charity myself, and unfortunately I don't do it on the scale that he does. But you know, that's always a good thing, doing stuff for charity. But when you buy a box, you're just into the hobby. You kind of announce your arrival into the hobby. Hey everybody, I've just bought a 200 grand booster box. By the way, I'll be selling it in a week's time and making 200 grand profit on it. So, you know, what kind of message does that send? You know, that for me, that's not someone who wants to get into it and start collecting. That's someone who's thought, I can make myself 200 grand. You know, 36 packs at $11,111 is 400 grand, and he paid, actually, including the taxes that he'll have paid and the commissions and the final listing fees and all that kind of stuff, plus all the postage and the insurance and stuff. You know, he's going to clear 150. Yeah. How many of you guys are going to clear 150 grand profit in Pokemon in the next month? Tumbleweed moment? None of you. So for someone who's already got the kind of money that he's got to come in and do that, I don't really like that, because he's taking all of the Wizards of the Coast opportunities away from us all, because all of the people that are getting into it, all of the celebrities are going to go for that kind of stuff as well, because that's where the biggest money is. So what I do see from now on is Wizard of the Coast stuff is just going to go nuts. Yeah, people who've got those products. The PSA 10 Charizard that recently just auctioned for 225 grand, including fees. Wow, that's the PSA 10 first edition Shadowless, obviously. Yeah, Wizards of the Coast is just going to become achievable for so many more of us now. For the people who hold Wizards of the Coast product, congratulations, you must love Logan Paul. Because your retirement's just been sorted out. You know, I know a lot of people on Facebook that have got collections of 20, 30, 40, 50 Wizards of the Coast booster boxes that will have probably trebled in value in the past month. So, yeah, mixed feelings about Logan Paul. Good in one way, but also very bad in a lot. I think due to the fact that I think there's more bad than good, I'd have to finally lean on a not cool or not in favour of it opinion. But, you know, at the end of the day, each to their own. Like I say, don't get salty, accept it, think of a way to adapt and change your process and move on. Which brings me nicely onto my final point, which is tips and advice. So, this is almost like Pokey Wrench's final thought, I suppose, for this video. Now, firstly, make a plan. Have a target, have a goal, have an objective. How much money do you have spare per month from your salary, from your wages? And what do you want to achieve from the hobby? Are you trying to complete Wizards of the Coast sets? I think right now is a bad time to do it. I think prices will settle though. I don't think they've, you know, do I see a PSA 10 first edition Shadowless Charizard going for $5 million? No, I think the prices have gone nuts for now, but I think they will settle. I don't think it'll continue going up at the rate it has done, but, you know, are they now unachievable for you? Yeah, move on to something else. Find a new goal. If you can't afford Wizards of the Coast, and you can't afford the next eras like the EX eras and Black and White and, you know, XY, look at Sun and Moon. Look at Sword and Shield. Look at building a new collection from things that you can afford that give you satisfaction, which is the key thing. But then also, if you're looking for the investment side of it, focus on the sets that offer the investment. Don't buy sets, buy cards. You know, that's another way to get around this. Opening packs is expensive. When you're opening, especially Champions Path, when you open a double V box that costs £20 or $25, and you pull nothing from it, that is an expensive process. You'd be better off just spending $25 or £20 on a single card that has growth potential, yeah? And that's what I do. I'm not a big fan of completing sets other than Hidden Fates. I love Hidden Fates. I've got to say it in every video, but I love Hidden Fates. I don't really complete sets. I'm not a sets kind of guy, and the reason for that is I like not only to collect, but I like the value. I like to buy something that is going to grow, because then I get the enjoyment of having it and also the potential growth, which whether I sell that for myself or pass it down to my kids, you know, growth is important. If not, you're just going backwards because the world moves. If you put £100 into something now and sell it in 10 years for £100, you've lost money. Yeah, and I know that it's not all about gaining money. I'm aware of that. Some people do it for the love of the hobby. Me personally, it's the love of the hobby and growth. I do want the values to go up. I do want to make money in the long term to pass on to my kids as inheritance or whatever you want to call it. So I personally don't like sets. I don't see the value in having a Caterpie non-hollow common card in my possession just to say it's a complete set, because the truth is a set only sells for the price of the big cards plus a couple £100 anyway. Look at the base set. You know, once you've sold Blastoise, Charizard and Venusaur, no one cares about the rest. So focus on individual cards. If you can't afford sets and you don't want to sit opening packs, buy an individual card once a month from your pay slip or your spare money or your wages, or you know, however you get your money, rental income, dividends, you know, however you get your money and you want to spend it. Maybe just buy a single card or a couple of single cards. Invest in Charizards. Charizards are huge and they always continue to be. And they always will be. I wish they weren't. I wish people loved other cards as much. As I've said before, I wish there was a big Blastoise card to chase. That'd be cool. But there isn't. So you just got to accept it and look at what's happening with the market and the kind of hobby itself, and look for your angle, look for where you want to get involved, and then focus on that, and don't change your mind, don't deviate from it. Find something that makes you happy but also provides you the investment opportunity that you want, if that's what you're looking for. That's one bit of advice. The second bit of advice is pre-order. Get on the pre-orders. Stop lining the pockets of the sellers by missing out, by not having the patience to pre-order now for something in 3 months' time. Have you pre-ordered your Vivid Voltage? You better have. You better have, because it's coming. And there'll be the same issue with trying to get hold of product as soon as it's released. It happens with every set. There's always, obviously certain sets come out and people just aren't bothered because it's not a big chase card and you can guarantee getting hold of the packs nice and easy. But with most sets, there's a point where the value will spike a little bit and you've like, oh, I wish I'd bought it, I wish I'd got involved. Get on it early, especially when the cards haven't been announced. And that was the issue with Champions Path. People didn't want to pre-order early because they didn't care about the set. Let's be honest, if you're sat there now and you didn't get the Elite Trainer boxes, be honest with yourself, it's because there weren't a Charizard in that set when the pre-orders were available. There weren't a Charizard in that set, so you weren't bothered. So you sat back waiting because you knew they'd be easy to get, and then what happened? It got leaked that there was a Charizard in the set, everyone went nuts. Oh, I want some now. Well, that's your own fault, yeah? Where's the collector in you? Where's the collector? Where's the person who, oh, it's these people are only about making money, they're not real collectors. Well, then you're not a real collector because you didn't pre-order before you knew there was a Charizard, yeah? Another controversial statement, but it's true. No one can disagree with that. Real collectors, proper, full-on Pokemon collectors, pre-ordered that product before Charizard was announced. As I did. As a lot of people around me did, yeah? And then the Charizard got announced and you just got a bigger boost because you got them at a good price. And everybody else was going to pay through the nose because Chaos Cards saw it happening and they were like, oh crap, we better put the prices up because everybody's going nuts for them. We've had another 1,000 pre-orders in the last 2 minutes. Yeah, that's your fault. I'll tell you the truth. You'll get honesty on this channel. I'll never lie about anything or try to rein stuff in or exaggerate stuff for views. I don't really, I want the channel to grow, but I want it to grow from people that want to be here, people that want to support me and my way of doing things, and they get on board with my way of doing things, my openings, my views, You know, they like that I'm honest. You don't have to agree with me to like what I'm saying, by the way. You know, you can disagree, but go, you know what, I quite like that he's gone out on a limb and said it. Because this could backfire on me and I could lose subscribers. I could get dislikes on the channel. But I want to be honest with people and tell a few home truths. If you missed out on Champions Path, it's your fault. We knew about it for long enough. Yeah? It's as simple as that. You knew about Champions Path from July just like I did. You had the chance to all pre-order it from July like I did, when Chaos Cards had their price set at 42 quid and the 5% discount. That's below the retail at 52.50 or whatever it is that the likes of Smiths and Game and Walmart or whatever are selling their prices at. Another thing, I always talk about prices in pounds, so for anyone over in America that's watching, I do apologise. Typically it's $1.25 to the pound, so if I say £50, then it's $60. So yeah, I mean, I expected this video to be like 10-15 minutes and I'm on 35 so far, so I think I need to stop rambling. So we'll have a quick recap. Investing, massive opportunities. Sit and spend a bit of time looking at the sets and where you can get involved with your budget. Lots of opportunities with Sun and Moon. Those boxes are becoming harder to get now for some of them, so you know, get involved now and get them before they go up even further and then you regret not paying the price that they are now. Yeah, so you need to make the decisions now. Don't sit waiting for months expecting someone to do the work for you. You need to make the decisions now. That's the key thing. But then patience. I've said that word so many times in this video, but it's so true. If you're investing, you need patience. Stuff doesn't happen overnight. Scalping. Summary of that point is, I suppose I've blamed the buyers. You inflate the prices for the sellers. So as a seller, why would you sell something for 50 quid if you can sell it for 100 quid just so you can be nice to the community? Community spirit doesn't pay bills. Community spirit doesn't give you money to build your own collection, yeah? And would I sell something now for 50 quid if it's selling for £100 on eBay? Absolutely not, because in my opinion that's stupid. But that's the fault of the buyers for paying that premium knowing there's more boxes coming in December. So yeah, I think it's the buyer's fault. You're allowing the scalpers to do what they do, or the flippers. But again, the caveat there, I'm not a flipper, I'm not a scalper. I sold Champions Path Elite Trainer boxes for 50 quid. So I'm alright, you know, don't hate me for that. Logan Paul, I'm on the fence. I think what he's doing is a little bit of good, but more bad than good in my opinion. And then the tips and advice, set yourself a goal, have a plan, sit and think about what's important to you, sets, singles, that kind of thing, and focus on that and don't deviate from your plan. You can't have everything. I can't have everything. We can't collect every single set anymore because the prices are just stupid. Unless you've got £1 million set in your bank to be able to buy base set booster boxes and first edition booster boxes and all that kind of stuff from the early days, from the Wizards of the Coast era, you can't have everything. So set yourself a goal, accept that a lot of the stuff from the past is gone, focus on stuff that's achievable and gives you enjoyment. Because if you're not enjoying it, you're in, you know, it's pointless. And then also pre-order early. Change your timeline. Rather than putting money in January to see the product in January, money in April to see the product in April, and so on and so forth, put the money in January on a pre-order, knowing that you've locked in your items for April. Then April, put your pre-orders in for July. I'm using rough dates, obviously I'm not talking about exact dates, but the point is the same. You know, patience, put the money in early and wait, because then you're going to get what you want and you don't need to worry about what everyone else is doing. And then scalpers and flippers, they're not an issue for you. So yeah, there we go. Controversial video, maybe. Definitely going to get some dislikes. If you know what, at this point, if you've watched a lot of this video, I think if you dislike the video without watching all of it, then you're kind of an arse, because you haven't heard my full points on everything. But if you've disliked my video, tell me why. I don't care for dislikes, but I want your opinions as well. So don't just give me a thumbs down and then move on to the next video. Tell me why. I won't be argumentative. I like to hear people's views. So if you watched the whole of this video, the near 40 minutes, or listened, should I say, and you disagree with a lot of what I've said, or even some of what I've said, just let me know why. Let's have a discussion, let's talk. You know, I think there's too much arguing that goes on in the community and not enough talking. I can have a debate with someone, you know. I'm not going to try to change your mind, but I would like to hear your points of views. If you agree with me, which I'm hoping there's a few that do, again, drop me a comment, tell me why. And more importantly, let me know if you like this kind of video. I promise to not make them all 40 minutes long, but if you want to hear me rambling on for a period of time about a certain topic and get my views on it and get advice or tips or guidance from me, then let me know. Drop a comment, give me a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Go and check out all of my other content. I do want the channel to grow, so likes and subscribing does massively, massively help. And yeah, I will leave it there until the next video, and I think that's everything I've covered. I've got a list in front of me and I think I've ticked everything off. So yeah, thank you all for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.